Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations unto the brothers, the Akim, pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered, right? The speckled bird Israelites who be scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen. I say shalom, and I say shalom unto the few and faithful Akwats, the sisters listening and learning. This is your brother Yerushalayim from GMS Trinidad Prophetic Vibrations Camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Alright? Now the things of Esau are being searched out, and his hidden things are being sought up. And that the more and more times as time go on to the end, as we approach the end, more and more is going to be revealed. Alright? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 10. Alright? But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and this is talking about his secret societies. They're planning what they plan on the tables, on the beds, as the scripture calls it. All the wickedness and iniquity that they plan and how they do it. And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right. This video is going to be entitled all the presidents of the United States were related or are related, less one. Alright? And this is the information that a young Edomite girl, or she seems to be an Edomite girl, brought out. Alright? In her study what she did. So this is the article here, Relativity and the Presidents. Alright? And you see a picture of Obama and his lineage. So the young lady's name is Brejan Devignon. Then a 7th grader from California did some solid genealogical digging back in 2012 and showed that all but one US president is the descendant of King John. And this is King John Lackland Plantagenet. Right? This is one of the probably Edomite kings of Great Britain, right? Show that all but one US president is the descendant of King John, best known as the monarch who was forced to sign the Magna Carta in 1215, right? The Magna Carta. And what was the Magna Carta? That's for edification's sake. Let's do that. Yeah, this is the Magna Carta, which means the Great Charter. It's one of the most important documents in history, as it established the principle that everyone is subject to the law, even the king, and guarantees the rights of individuals, the right to justice and the right to a fair trial, which we know that's not true. Alright? Maybe for the Edomites, right? Just bear with me a moment here. Alright, Magna Carta, or Great Charter, signed by the King of England in 1215, was a turning point in human rights, or so they say. Among them was the right of the church to be free from governmental interference, the right of all free citizens to own and inherit property, and to be protected from excessive taxes. That's what they say, but really and truly, it was created for the elites. It was basically created so the elites could have a control over the king, right? What they wanted to do is they wanted to re-establish the old Roman governmental structure, alright, which included a Senate, a House of Representatives, alright, who basically control, what they call their democracy, alright, their democracy, and that word democracy, stems from a word demo, means demon, and they go back to the meaning, demo, demon, and Cressy means rule, so it's demon rule. right? Because it's a group of men, a small group of men, right? Which is today's the elites, who control everything, all right? Now the Lord didn't set up a system like this. The Lord set up kings, who were chosen by Himself, King Saul first, and then King David, all right? So Lord didn't. This is not the Lord's doing, right? The Lord always set up a kingship, but the Roman Empire, as this is the revised Roman Empire, the old Roman Empire always set up this Congress or the Senate and this House of Representatives, so basically they can accomplish their wickedness, So that's really what all this is about. So let's go back to the article here. All right. So he was forced to sign the Magna Carta in 1215. Some have taken this to be evidence of the hidden hand of the real power brokers at work. Yeah, and that's what it was. Even claiming it means all U.S. presidents are pre-selected, and that's exactly what it means. Perhaps that's so, but sharing an ancestor from 800 years ago is not proof of such a conspiracy. But actually, on the contrary, it is. All right. On the contrary, it is. All right. So yeah. So all of them basically was related to this. I think all 44 presidents, if I'm not mistaken, or 43, were related to this man John Lackland Plantagenet. And who's to say that the elites at that point in time, one of the conditions potentially of planting signing this Magna Carta was that his descendants, would always rule, right? Will always have that head position, right, or that figurative position, because all of them are his descendants, all right? So, the wickedness of Esau, from since back then is now coming out, man. It's now coming out, because this wickedness, has always been, their wickedness has always been in play, behind the scenes, in the secret places, where they hide and they concoct all manner of iniquity. All right. So very possible that was the plan, and he's acting out now because clearly these presidents, it couldn't be just by chance that all these men, save one, related to this man, this old king. All right. It couldn't be just coincidence. Okay. So she basically created the whole family tree, and then she was I believe she sent it to Obama, but Obama didn't respond. As the story goes, because why? It's exposing them. It's exposing the lies, as the lie IQ, as the Elder Malcolm says, it's failing them. All right. Because they're being exposed, the lies, that the voting population really chooses a president. That's not so. It's actually a small group of elites, who choose the president, and that's what they don't want people to know. All right, that's what they don't want people to know. And it's strange, funny enough, this guy John Lackland, he was depicted as the villain in the so-called folk tales. Robin Hood, he was depicted as the wicked king, right? And ironically enough, in her study, there were some genealogists, who were doing researches, did researches previously on the presidents, and they only focus on the male bloodlines, and you ask yourself why. Because they know that the patriarchal lineage is what determines nationality and determins descendancy. They know, and it's clear. Alright? So all that Esau stuff is made bare. Alright? Trump and Obama, I believe, are 8 cousins. They're all cousins. Alright? So let's go to an article. Let me see what it says when it pops up. You see? So the link has been removed, maybe broken on the page, may have been removed. So they removed the page. Why? Because they're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide the facts, that all presidents are pre-selected, you know. But I believe I have an article lined up here, so let me see if I can find it. I believe it's WikiLeaks, a 2016 article. Just bear with me a minute here. Alright, here we go. This is an article from the Inquisitor. WikiLeaks election truth bomb. This is back in 2016, October. There is no US election. Presidents are selected, not elected. So this is the last election that they had, right? Where Trump would have won. Using their Twitter account, WikiLeaks has dropped a massive election truth bomb on concerned US residents and livid voters alike. According to WikiLeaks, despite the rancor and enthusiasm monopolizing the lives of most Americans this month, and that's back then, you know, there is no US election. It's not real. It's a dog and pony show. And that's exactly what it is. It's a pretense. It's just to fool the masses, designed to give American citizens the illusion of having a choice. So it's not real. All right. As your Newswire reports, the WikiLeaks election stunner was catapulted onto Twitter just after WikiLeaks trounced President Barack Obama by publicly releasing a batch of his emails, and in response to criticism of WikiLeaks for doing so. Indeed, WikiLeaks was accused of playing partisan political games and trying to influence the outcome of the current US election cycle. According to WikiLeaks, however, that kind of influence simply isn't possible. And why? Because the election has already been decided by people with much more power and authority than the collective American voters. Yeah, and that's what's going on. In a nutshell, US presidents are selected rather than elected. Right? They're selected. And all of this election drama is nothing more than a political farce. It's just an act. Right? Drama of the worst kind. Alright? That's what's going on. So this is just to fool people. Yeah, it's just basically to fool people. Nonsense, really. Alright? I have one more article to go through here. And I'll just go to some scriptures. You know, and really and truly, you know, this guy, this Edomite, John Lackland, you know, may have been the descendants, the ancestor of these of the same British royalty of today, right? He's probably an ancestor of the same British royalty. That's why a lot of most of the U.S. presidents are also related to the Queen of England, right? And that royal family. They're probably all Amalekites together, and the Lord swear war against with Amalek from generation to generation. So it's no wonder that, you know, the heads of Babylon, you know, is probably from the tribe of Amalek. Alright? Of course, the elites are also of the tribe of Amalek, so they're also pulling these strings behind the scene. All of them are related. They are related. It's not by chance that these presidents are there. Alright? Why our presidents are elected by a clique of elites. Yeah, let me see if I can get this here. Yeah, it's the article here. Why our presidents are elected by a clique of elites. Yeah, and they are. So American presidential elections are generally orderly affairs. People vote, somebody wins, and life goes on. It's our proud tradition of democratic, I mean, we went in that word already, democratic, demonic rule, self-governance. And yet, the whole thing is controlled by a cabal of elites who actually picked the nation's commander-in-chief and who theoretically have the power to defy voters and stop Donald Trump from becoming America's president. But they don't want to stop that. They want Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the man to fulfill all these prophecies, right? We are talking, of course, about the Electoral College, a 229-year-old contraption of democracy, demon rule, that founding fathers had to cobble together because they couldn't figure out a better way to pick president, and that's a lie. You know, they didn't cobble it together. They planned all that. They devised it, right? They devised this. So let me go to a scripture here in the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. So all this were, all this, they planned this, They planned this from way back when, right? And who's to know they may have make a blood pact, for this day, for the presidents when they put there to follow the rule or the directives of the elites. All right? That combined with the fact that, they infuse all the members of the Council of Foreign Relations into every key governmental position in the United States. All right? And we'll see that just now in the book from Salim Kurban, Satan's Angels Exposed. All right? Verse 2 says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And this is mainly talking about Jake here. Right? Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family. So there you go. They're all a family. When we read that earlier on, they're all related. They're all a family. So the Lord said, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily. Proudly. Won't go proudly, for this time is evil. So this time is evil, The Lord gonna destroy them. He's gonna take them out now. So that the time is fulfilled, and that's why they're hustling now. They're hustling now to create to boost up their weapon systems, because they can see all the chariots out in space, right? And they're afraid. And that's why Revelation 12 and 12 is going to take place. They're going to come in. They're going to come in because they're afraid. They know the time is short. All right. Let me go to the book of Psalms. Psalms, I believe it's 36 and verse 4. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Yeah, because they plan all this to destroy Jake from a long time, to oppress him. Right? Because all of these were Edomites, and Hamites. Obama was a Hamite. And all of them had crafty counsel, according to Psalm 83. They did crafty counsel to destroy Jake. So all this whole power structure is devised to do that, to crush us. All right? Let me see. Let me go to Isaiah 5 and 8. Because this is their agenda here, Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. So that's what they're doing. This one world order is all about that. And that was the plan from since back then, to have this one world order, and perhaps even to exalt a member of the same family, as the king, all right, over everything, all right. So, but the elites, of course, will control behind the scenes. So they join house to house and lay field to field. They want to unite all the nations, create this new world order, this one world order, and control everybody through microchips, all right, through the vaccines, all right. That's what they plan to do. That's what they plan to do. All right, let me see if I can let's go back to the article here. All right, on Monday, and this is a 2016 article, I believe. On Monday, 538 electors from 50 states, including 3 from the District of Columbia, will convene across the country to cast the votes that decide who will sit in the Oval Office in January. So you see, it's not the electors who determine the president. It's these elite 530 electors from the 50 states. All right, they're the ones, they are the ones who determine the president. They are the ones. Trump is expected to win when the electors vote. Even though more Americans cast ballots for Hillary Clinton, Trump was more popular in states that control more electoral votes. That's a system. Regular Americans don't get a direct say in who becomes president. So you see there? They don't get a direct say. And not all Americans' votes are equal. And we know that when we going back to the 13th Amendment, all right, where, Jake was considered 3/5 of a man. All right? So I think I'll end with this article here, and let's go through some scriptures here. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms again, Psalm 64 and verse 1. All right, a Psalm of David. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right. And these people are evil, man. They're evil, they plan all this. This is the book Satan's Angels Exposed. All right. Now we go to page 193. Right. The Council on Foreign Relations. Let's give you a little insight into it. All right. The Council on Foreign Relations was formed in 1921 when it became evident that the U.S. was not going to join the League of Nations. Its founder was Colonel Edward House. House was a British education, son of a financier who had a British financial interest in the United States. House became President Wilson's right-hand man and emerged as virtually president in control. Why? Because he was the one pulling the president's strings. House had two pet projects he wanted to ram through. One, a central banking system, and two, graduated income tax. So a central banking system, we see now that, hey, all the central banks of the world now saying they're going to digital currency. Even here in Trinidad, they say, we're going to go to digital currency. Why? Because they control the central banks, right? The graduated income tax, that's why they created feminism, so they could tax at least half of the population to send the woman out to work, all right? He was successful in seeing both were adopted into law. It was House who brought into being the Federal Reserve Act, right? Which benefited international bankers, the elites again. The original Federal Reserve Board was largely hand-picked by Colonel House. So you see what's going through. See what's happening there. Alright? Let me go to, me flip to page 195, the ultimate goals. Alright, ultimate goals. In study number 7, published by the Council on Foreign Relations on November 25th, 1959, and in further statements by CFR members, the following is recommended. 1. Build a new international order which must be responsive to world aspirations for peace and for social economic change. An international order including states labeling themselves as socialists. Right? And that's what they're planning. That was always their plan, they want to crash the dollar, create this new, they already had that was the old world order, the US monetary systems, the Bretton Woods systems, where the US dollar was the reserve currency of the world. And now they're gonna create this new world order, with digital currency, the mark of the beast, right? Vaccines, and to unite the world under their control. Point 2. United Nations maintain and gradually increase the authority of the UN, which they achieved. Alright? Much more is involved, including a recommendation of secret negotiations with Russia on disarmament, increased foreign aid with no strings attached, and recognition of Red China. All this has now come to pass, and has since back then. And the reason why they keep close contact with Russia is a lot of these elites, they understand the scriptures, they understand prophecy. Alright? So they know that Russia prophesied to destroy them. So they're trying their best to stop the prophecy from taking place, but they will fail. The Lord said his word doesn't go out void. Alright? His word doesn't go out void. They can try their best, it won't succeed. Alright, this is page 97. Page 197, Salakia. The invisible government. The CFR has been called the invisible government and the establishment. It is interesting to note that members of the Council on Foreign Relations, as the CFR, have at one time or another staffed almost every key position of every administration since that of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yet most Americans have never heard of the Council on Foreign Relations. It has been successful in maintaining its semi-anonymity for over 50 years. So that's basically what they do. That's basically what they did. Alright? CFR members are allegedly included among the most influential international banking organizations. Major corporations have influential CFR members, as with the major communications media, because they control the media, whatever goes out. So therefore they can keep everything hush-hush. Yahweh alone is the discerner of our hearts. As we say in there, but really and truly, Esau already judged there. Esau is already judged. And these devils just trying their best, to remain on top. And this is always their plan. They took crafty counsel and they're still doing it. And they believe that they'll come out on top, but they are wrong. Alright? This is the Bilderbergers, the power seekers, right? This is page 207 in the book Satan's Angels Exposed, right? The CFR, the Bilderbergers, the Trilateralist Slovakia, all have one thing in common. They are secret societies. Members include the elite from the worlds of business, banking, government, and the intellectual. Influential world leaders are, in many cases, members of all three organizations. Alright? That's what they want. For some time, it was difficult to get any information on the Bilderbergers because they're so secretive, right? That's why the scriptures say, they devise iniquity in secret, So members would include the elite from the worlds of business, banking, government, and intellectual. Influential world leaders, in many cases, members of all three of the international organizations. For some time, it was difficult to get any information on the Bilderbergers. Their cloak of secrecy was so effective. And that's one of the most restrictive groups, the Bilderbergers. Alright? And that's because, the Rothschild, the Rockefellers, and these guys are part of that group. Alright? They're part of all those groups, but, in key, that's the elite of the elite groups. Right? The Justice Department and prominent, so here it is, the Justice Department and prominent senators. Alright, so these are senators, the people who represent in the Senate, right? And also, of course, members of the House of Representatives, claimed ignorance of any existence of a group called the Bilderbergers, but the Bilderbergers do exist. So there you have it. You've seen plainly, alright. So the Bilderbergers have a group of about 100 members who are handpicked, and I'm sure a lot of these members make up the same electoral college, alright, who actually put and elect the president, alright. So I think I'll end it there. You can take a read up more on this book, I'm more on that chapter, and let's just go to the scriptures. Alright, so this Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right? That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And that's what they're doing by planning these wicked oppression, draconian laws, right? Effeminizing the Israelite man, destroying the Israelite man, as a matter of fact. Alright, putting them down, destroying us. Right? Because they know the man is the nation. Alright? They search out iniquities, right? So they search out evils, the whole system, the wicked wine and philosophy, right? They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart, which is the mind, is deep. Yeah, because the scripture say that Esau is wiser than Daniel, right? So they're very keen and very good at wickedness, wisdom on the left hand side, evils, right? Homosexuality. They as I mentioned, the feminization in man, the making women more masculine, making women equal to men, alright? The oppression, the monetary system oppression, that's what they're all about. That's the wickedness they're all about. Alright, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Yeah, because Yahweh Shai is dealing with them right now, bringing down the system. Alright, and Yahweh Shai will come back and take them out of power. He's gonna take them out of power. He's gonna take down all rulership. Alright, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Alright, yeah, and this girl, Bridjan Davignon, alright, a child, she make her own tongue. She's an Edomite, her tongue fell upon them. All that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear, and shall declare the work of Yahweh, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. And that's going to come to pass. Alright? Let's stay in the Psalms. Let's go to Psalm 2 and verse 1. Why do the heathens rage? Alright? And the people imagine a vain thing. Salakia. And the people imagine a vain thing. Alright, yeah, because this vanity, what they imagining, that they could stay in power forever, right? And put down and destroy Israel, and the Lord wouldn't come and do anything about it. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together, saith Yahweh, and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us, which mean destroying us. Right? He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and Yahweh shall have them in derision. And that's what's going on right now. It's Egyptian against Egyptian. Right? Edomites fighting against Edomites now, because why? Who believe they're Republican, who believe the Democrats, That's what they're doing. Right? Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sordid pleasure. I mean, Yahweh Shai comes, that's what he's going to do. He's going to destroy them, destroy all these devils. Alright? He's going to destroy all these devils. Alright, let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 30. Let's say verse 11. Alright? There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. There is a generation that is pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. Alright? And this also applies to wicked Jakes too. This applies to wicked Jakes too, but also Esau. There's a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. They're proud. Right? They're proud. They're building up all these skyscrapers. They have the satellites, They think they're powerful, right? There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth. And who's the poor? Israel. Right? And the needy from among men. Alright? And how they do these things, they accomplish these things, by what? By the wicked wine, the philosophy. There's a lot of philosophy, the laws, the wicked laws. It's just to destroy Jake. Alright? This Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, which is philosophy. Alright? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and he's not going to keep at home. He wants the whole world. Alright? This devil wants the whole world. Alright? These devils. They're not satisfied with Babylon. Now they want the whole world. Alright? Neither keep it at home, and all the plans of having these embassies around the world was all their plot. Right? To be able to take control. And basically financing other nations, giving them loans. Why do you think all that was for? These central banks, the IMF, International Monetary Fund. Alright? Granting loans, We've seen it clearly now with this COVID-19 hoax, right? They're giving all these loans, And some of the conditions is for governments to lock down to destroy their economies. Alright? To widen the gap between the rich and the poor. Alright? So who enlarged his desire as hell, his desire to control, as hell, can't be satisfied, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Alright? But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Alright, that's the new world order. One world order. They rule over the whole world. Alright? That's what it's all about. Yeah. Verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Right? It's not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, and that goes into their debt, right? The debt-based system, the 27 trillion that's outstanding right now, the debt-based system, right? Ladeth himself with thick clay, and that word goes into as debt.
Strong's H 5671 Avteet.
Yeah, Avteet. Weight of pledges, heavy debts. Alright? That's where it goes into. Right? The wicked system, you know. They don't go according to the system, you know, of the laws and the commandments, you know. You know, because I believe, you know, if I'm not mistaken, you know, I mean, I stand corrected, you know, but I believe that, you know, that system really supposed to work there even after a period of 6-7 years, you know, and they don't pay back, you know, there's the you know, your debts are basically you know, you're relieved of them, you know, according to the scriptures. But you know, they that just keep on piling up, and you know, they knew what would happen in this time. They're just kicking the can down the road, you know, by putting more stimulus money into the economy, taking more debt-based finance. You know, they knew that would happen from the time they took the dollar, the US dollar, off the gold backing, off the gold standard, and created this fiat currency. They knew that, alright? They knew that. Yeah. And that's exactly what's gonna happen to them, is destruction. Yeah, shall not they rise up suddenly and bite thee? And this verse 7. And awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Yeah, everybody, the rest of the nations are gonna destroy you. You know. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and all that dwell therein, you know, the soldiers and whatnot, you know, and the military. It's a revised Roman Empire, Babylon, which is America. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. And who sets his nest on high? Esau, Edom. Alright? They're from since they were in the caves in the Caucasus Mountains, you know, when they were in Mount Seir, you know, they have the skyscrapers now, they have the satellites, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. You know, and the Lord is going to destroy them. That's just how it is. You know, they cannot be satisfied. You know, when you go back up to verse 5, say, you know, enlarges his desire as hell. You know, and in the book of Obadiah, verse 5, you know, they said, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? No, yeah. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? But, you know, Esau leaves nothing. You know, he leaves nothing. It's Jeremiah 49 and verse 9. Alright? If the same thing, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. Right? But Esau is not so. He wants everything. He can't be satisfied. But I mean, your judgment is destruction, Esau. Your judgment is destruction. Alright? No matter what you try to do with your president of the United States, with your wicked plans and iniquity, you know, everything is going to be coming down. You know, and you're going to be destroyed. Let's go back to Obadiah here. One of the favorite scriptures here. Alright? It's Obadiah 1:18, and this is a reminder of what's going to happen to you, Esau. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Alright? And actually, let me read from verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. So we're going to possess everything that you possess, that you have. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Right? And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. Right? So you're going to be devoured. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Right? So I pray this lesson has been edifying. Through spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Kalalal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Bashim Rakakudash. Wa Abad Babal. Shalom. Until next time. Shalom.